What's up, guys? Yep, that's my face. My name is Mike, also known as Mystery Files, and I do tell stories. Now, what you're about to see right now is different than all my other ones, so don't click off because there will be a background. Watch. What's going on, everybody? This is a little unconventional, but seeing as that I was literally born to the minute, just a minute ago at 9:57, that's at least when I'm making this PM. I should have this out within the hour, hopefully. I just wanted to give you guys a little something special on my birthday. And basically what I did is I bought the new AI system. And this one, if you want to know what it is, let me know in the comments. It is 4 times better than ChatGPT. Okay, 4 times more accurate, 4 times better. So I bought it and I started messing around. I usually ask for title help, right? And sometimes, though, I'll be like, tweak this part of a story, just like a sentence or two, like, how do I get this emotional? But I had a theory, and I wanted to see how smart it was. So I asked it, could you write a 1,000-word story like Mr. E-File, seeing if I was on the internet? Unfortunately, it said we do not recognize a Mr. E-File. So I swallowed my pride, and I said, sure, soon you will. How about you write an 1,000-word story of MrBallen? And I know a lot of you give me crap. Oh, you're copying him. No. I took his blueprint. I ran with it. He co-signed by subscribing. That's all you got to need to know. All right? But I thought this would be fun. Just like that, within 30 seconds, it spit out a 1,000-word story. So I'm about to read that to you guys live, so I might mess up. And I'm going to put a background on. It's just on the phone, so it won't be as good as usual. But please, since it's my birthday, if you could really give this one a like, that'd be my present right there. I appreciate it. Y'all don't have to, though. Seriously, just watching is enough. I want you guys to know I love you, and I hope you enjoy this weird version of me, not in my studio, just giving you some entertainment. All right. As of now, it's time to slip into a mind that's not human. Let's go. So here is a 1,097 words suspenseful story in the style of MrBallen. It was a crisp, clear night in late November when Jake decided to take a shortcut home through the woods. He just wanted to get back quicker to catch the football game and have a few beers with his buddies. But as soon as he stepped foot amongst the barren trees whose skeletal branches seemed to claw at the night sky, he felt a chill run down his spine, and he knew something wasn't right. The woods were deathly silent. Not even a rustle or chirp could be heard. Jake's unease grew with each step along the narrow dirt path, and he shined his phone flashlight ahead, cutting a swath through the inky darkness. The light reflected back in tiny, shining orbs, the eyes of wildfire, no doubt, or at least Jake hoped that's all they were. And about halfway through the woods, Jake heard a snapping twig behind him. He whirled around, flashlight held high, but there was nothing but trees. Must have been a raccoon, he told himself. He quickened his pace slightly, ignoring the nagging voice inside that told him someone or something was watching him. Ahead, Jake noticed the trees thinning out. Almost out of this place, he thought with relief. But just then, another crack split that silence, louder and closer this time. Jake's heart raced as he spun on his heels. "Hello?" he called out. "Is someone there?" Only the whisper of wind through barren branches answered. Jake rubbed his arms against the sudden chill. Probably just some kid, trying to freak me out, he thought. Well, it was working. Time to get the hell out of the woods. Jake was nearing the last cluster of trees before the path opened onto the fields around his neighborhood, and he could see porch lights twinkling in the distance like guiding stars. So trying to calm his nerves, he began whistling an aimless tune as he stepped past the final tree. He never saw the blow coming. A crushing pain exploded at the back of his head. His vision erupted in stars as he crumpled to the cold, hard ground. Dazed, he rolled onto his back, struggling to make his eyes even focus. Looming over him was a dark silhouette, seeming to merge with the night sky. Who? Jake tried to speak, but his tongue felt thick and clumsy. He could make out a glint just above him, moonlight reflecting off something metallic. An axe, a mallet. He didn't have time to tell before it came arcing down towards his face. Jake awoke slowly, a throbbing ache behind his eyes. He tried to lift a hand to his head but couldn't. His wrists were bound tight, and as his vision cleared, he realized he was now in a small room, empty except for the chair that he was tied to. The single light bulb above cast this ominous shadows of these concrete walls. Where the hell was he? Jake's mind was racing to remember what happened. The last thing he recalled was taking that shortcut through the woods when something attacked him. He struggled against the ropes, binding his wrists and ankles, but they wouldn't give. How long had he been stuck there? And where was there? Just then, a door creaked open. Jake froze, with his eyes wide. A figure stepped through, face obscured in darkness. As it approached, the light revealed a face that turned Jake's stomach. The man was hideously disfigured, his head misshapen and scarred. One milky light eye stared sightlessly ahead, while the other fixed on Jake with an unsettling gaze. Who are you? Jake stammered, shrinking away instinctively. What do you want? The disfigured man said nothing. He simply stared at Jake, his lone working eye boring into him with this terrifying intensity. And after a silent minute that felt like an eternity, the man turned abruptly and left the concrete room, bolting the door shut behind him. Jake hollered after him to stop, straining so hard against the ropes he thought his wrist might actually snap. But the man was gone. Jake slumped back, mind reeling. Had he been kidnapped by some psycho killer? Was this freak planning to kill him or torture him? He had to get out of there. Jake looked wildly around, hoping to find some means of escape, but the room was empty. Not even a nail or old pipe he could try and cut his bonds with. He was well and truly trapped. And as panic threatened to overtake him, Jake squeezed his eyes shut, forcing himself to take slow, deep breaths. Easy, Jake, easy, he told himself. Someone will realize you're missing soon. The cops will come looking. You just need to stay calm and stall for time. Avoid pissing off Scarface, and maybe he won't finish what he started in those woods. You got this, man. Just hold on a little bit longer. Now, over the next agonizing hours, the disfigured man returned periodically. Each time he would simply stand and watch Jake, never speaking a word, no matter how much Jake pleaded with him. Once he did set a cup of water, but just out of Jake's reach, watching pitilessly as Jake strained his body, trying desperately to take a sip. And when the door creaked open again, Jake had all but given up hope. But this time, instead of that freak, a petite blonde woman entered the room. Jake gazed at her in bewilderment. Who was she? An accomplice? His confusion only grew when the woman rushed to his side, cupping his face gently in her hands. "Oh, thank God! You're awake!" she exclaimed. "We found you unconscious in the woods and brought you here. I was so worried." Her voice sounded familiar somehow. Stirring something in Jake's foggy memory, he blinked hard, trying to reconcile the tender tone with his horrific situation. "I'm so sorry we had to restrain you," the woman continued apologetically. "It was the only way to keep you from harming yourself after what you went through." Comprehension began dawning on Jake. The blow to his head, the hallucinations, this woman's familiarity. Could it be? Hope rising, he met her tear-filled eyes." He rasped in disbelief. "Sis? Is that really you?" His sister nodded, her face breaking into a relieved smile. And as Rachel hurried to untie the ropes still binding him, Jake let his pounding heart begin to slow. The nightmare was over. His sister was there now. Everything was going to be okay. Well, that is the story that I asked AI to write in the style of MrBallen. So I thought this was a fun little experiment, and in the end, who's better? You let me know right now in the comments. AI trying to be MrBallen or MrBallen? Personally, I think you guys know what I think. MrBallen. But that's all I got for you today. A special little birthday upload. I hope you guys truly enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.